I do for you? No, I'm playing. Let's see. Let's talk a little bit about these restaurant owners are telling customers no vax, no service as the Delta variant spreads. And like I said, how far are these variants going to go? And thank you guys so much for showing up. I see you coming in. Blessings, y'all, and welcome. Welcome to so I got to say it on the download, man, because, you know, they delete my those videos that I do. You know, if they see that name, you know, they actually send me a notification saying that we got to demonetize your videos because your videos represent or your videos promote the use of a regulated drug. Because my videos are called the Zoloft, they accuse me of promoting the use of a regulated drug, while they play ads in my videos from Trintellix without paying me. So, you know, YouTube is dirty like that. So anyway, just call it the TZL. I can't say the TZL. It's just TZL, because if I say the TZL, that's me like saying the Zoloft. But no, TZL. All right, anyway. So restaurants tell customers, no vax, no service as Delta variant spreads. I mean, okay, here's the thing with these restaurants, man. So right now, it doesn't matter if you've got the so-called vax or not. You're still suspect. People are still getting COVID despite the so-called vax. People are still transmitting it despite the so-called vax. So when you go into a restaurant, I mean, you know, we already see the ignorance of okay, you know, you got to eat, right? You know, how you gonna eat? Are they going to come up with new ways for people to eat? Are people going to be like, go to the restaurant and have a menu? And I'm working on like skits and stuff like this. We're going to put these skits to you unless somebody bites my rhymes first. You know, keep me hidden in the dark over here in the internet and then go bite my stuff. Matter of fact, no, I ain't going to tell y'all nothing. I ain't giving it away. You got to wait for the actual premiere of the new Zoloft videos that are going to be coming out. And, you know, we'll be able to do these and going to do these in our own space and stuff like that. We ain't going to be dependent on YouTube. All right. But at any rate, y'all, but yeah, I mean, get down to how are these people supposed to be fed? How are you supposed to eat? I mean, you're going to have to take off your mask at some point when you take your mask down and chew and while you put your mask back on or whichever. That's dumb. We know that's dumb. You know, and when you get your food, the food going to be hot. You got to cool the food off. You know, it's like you pull the mask off, you go blow on your food and stuff like that. Well, isn't that blowing the virus around? Can't do that. What you guys going to do? What you going to do at the restaurants? Y'all, you going to help accommodate your customers and you going to give them like some little personal fan and stuff like that? I got a little personal fan so I can cool off my soup. Is that how that's going to work? I mean, look, y'all, and all this is a testimony of Democrats are basically just proving how exactly it's a plandemic. Yes, control vid, straight up. It's Democrats are basically proving how actually nonviolent we so-called trigger-happy Second Amendment conservatives are. The reason why these Democrats have gotten so far is because we're not itching to get out there and shoot people. That's them, right? But they're able to just go ahead and go on with this lunacy. We haven't gotten violent. We haven't, like, you know, gone after them and chased them down with our guns and flamethrowers and tanks or bazookas that they claim that we want to be able to have. And make this, you know, gross exploitation of the Second Amendment. You know, it's like, you guys want to have all these weapons and stuff like that. And none of this stuff has like been shown that we're looking to just take to the streets and just go and mow these people down. That's why they've gotten as far as they have, because that's not how we are. I really wish conservatives would have taken the necessary fight to Democrats, but too many conservatives don't do that. Too many conservatives do not take the necessary fight to Democrats. They'll say that government is not the answer and then turn around and go to government acting like government is the answer to these problems. Hey, government, we're going to hold your feet to the fire and you're going to do something about this. And we need, you know, spines of steel and rock rib conservatives in office, and they're going to fix stuff. None of that is really proven to be true. Okay, it's I don't, you know, conservatives have just not brought the right fight in this. And then I'll act like, you know, well, don't tread on me. And when push comes to shove, we're going to break out our guns by thunder. It's like, really? No, actually, no. Really, it's like, conservative, what you going to do? The country's been taken from you. You know, come and take it. They took it. All right, it's been taken. We need to take our country back. Basically, when you say that, you're admitting that the country's been taken from you. Right? So, you know, chew on that. with your mask on. Sorry, man. Let's just be real. Let's be real with each other. All right. I'm not trying to, be a jerk. But I mean, look at what's coming down on us. How can you expect? I mean, the jerkdom is definitely being perpetrated on us. So let's stop blaming these Democrats and these liberals about how they're screwing up the country, and let's take some responsibility of saying we let them. All right. I mean, what conservatives really? What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Are you waiting until you're gonna have to break out your guns? Is that the only way that you feel like you can defend America? By busting out with your guns, or whoever this messianic politician is gonna be, who's gonna come in and save a state or save America, your salvation? I mean, a lot of times conservatives sound just like liberals. You act like your salvation is who's gonna be in office. It doesn't work, man. What does it take to realize that doesn't work? I'm seeing that now, with the roster of people running for governor of California. Who's gonna save California? Who's gonna save California? Our salvation isn't in a governor, man. Why don't we learn that? But government's not the answer. It's the problem. This person's gonna be governor. They're gonna save California. I don't know. So at any rate, y'all. Speaking of taking the wrong fight. Conservative business owners, who don't want to comply, and good on you, not for wanting to comply. What's going to happen when conservative business owners are forced out of business? While the compliant liberal business owners dominate American enterprise, using that, and we see how liberals make excellent use of the free market. They make better use of the free market than the so-called champions of free market conservatives. That's real. You got liberals out there making a killing off of the free market to kill the free market, right? And so they're going to be compliant, with this nonsense. And the sad part of it is, y'all, is that the liberals who dominate in the free market are going to use their dominion of the free market and hand it over to the state, so socialism can go ahead and take its place, and as industry and is owned by the state, and your enterprise is owned by the state. That's what Democrats want to do with it. In their pursuit of this perverted utopia that they have, right? This idea of their utopia that they have. They want to hand what they've dominated in over to the state, the same way that Adam handed dominion over to the devil. That's where we're headed, y'all. I mean, really think about this, y'all. Conservatives, really, is it so important to so many conservatives to be dominating on the freaking gun range? Your ability to shoot is not helping you. There is another fight to be had, and conservatives are not there. All right, there's another target, there's another arena that needs to be done here, because the country is being taken from you. All right, and if you're not careful, before you can even pull out your guns to use them, they will have taken those away from you too. I'm telling you, man. Please don't be so cocky, and thinking that this ain't. It's happening. It's happening. All right. You got to be open, not to change your principles, change the approach. The approach has to change. Been saying how to do it for years, but for some reason conservatives think how many restaurants going to have to be closed? How many businesses are going to have to be closed? How much money is going to have to be spent and taken from us? How much is the country going to have to be charged to pay for this salvation that the Democrats say are going to give to us? This gift of salvation that we're being charged for. Come on, man. What's it going to take for conservatives to realize, dude, this needs to be done another way, right? Maybe what we're doing doesn't work. I see conservatives doing the same things over and over again, contradicting themselves. They got the right ideas, But in terms of the execution of them, no. No, it's they just keep doing the same thing. And the sad part of it is, well, this is what's even worse. Right? I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. I'm gonna give you an example. And you guys have heard me say it before. I'm gonna say it again because I'm telling you, this is the kind of stuff that has cost conservatives and Republican voters, right? So now, you conservatives can see how this vaccination thing, to where you can either eat inside or you can eat outside, right? Vaccinated folk over here, unvaccinated folk over here. Hey, you starting to see the correlation? It kind of sounds like them Jim Crow laws, don't it? Right? Oh, conservatives can see that. It's like, oh, this sounds like segregation. It means that, the vaccinated people are going to be segregated over here and the unvaccinated over here. It's like this, it seems, what's the word I'm looking for? It sounds systemic, doesn't it? Right? Is the country not systematically being divided? Is the country not systematically being separated into to what the superiors, the ones with supremacy, deem as fit, and those who are not? To where you got to show your papers or you got to be branded, and if not, you are not the right, you're just not the right persuasion. And they're going to segregate you. See, conservatives can understand that. They can see the systemic aspect of that. They can't see systemic racism, but they can see this. They can see the systemic aspect of this when it concerns them. Now that they are taking on being subject to it, now they can make the correlation. But what I've been telling them, conservatives, you don't want to be dismissive about systemic racism, because when you do that, you give the Democrats a pass, and they're going to use that against you. You wipe their slate clean, and they know that somebody's going to want to blame somebody, so they're going to blame you, right? They're going to blame Republicans and associate Republicans with all things white, while Democrats, the real racists, the real white elites, just sit back and laugh when they were the ones who imposed the systemic racism. And Republicans just left themselves wide open for that charge to be put on them, because Republicans say there's no systemic racism. There's no white supremacy, right? There's none of that stuff. I mean, there's no white privilege. Oh, let's see. What I noticed that conservatives are going to, they're more and more seeing the privilege of being vaccinated. You get your vaccine, the so-called vaccine, you get privilege. And who is orchestrating these things? Elitist white liberals, while Republicans are all like, oh, there's no systemic racism. There's no white supremacy. Really? But when these things start to come to affect you, then you start to see the systemic aspect of it. Now you see systemic something. And I tried to tell conservatives, they're going to use these things against you. They're going to use them against you. And this is why they've gotten so far. This is how they've gotten as far as they have. Because too many conservatives, man, too many, they don't get it. Culturally, fully oblivious to how this works. And they talk about, well, you got to play the game. You got to play the political game. And y'all, what game? The NFL is playing a better game than you, conservatives. You can go ahead and sit there and curse the NFL and curse these women's soccer teams and curse the NBA and all that sort of stuff. They're still playing a better game than you. Their game is stronger than yours. Okay? Let's be real. So you can go ahead, it's like, while you're talking about, they take a knee, and they take it away, but you're taking it in the shorts. Your country has been stolen from you, despite all your tough talk. So at any rate, y'all, man, I hope that at least you still have an appetite, that you can go to a restaurant, wear your mask in. At any rate, so now let's talk about, let me get off that, man. Capitol riots. Arrest of restaurant owner Rattles' hometown. I guess that was that about, it's like, but these Capitol riots, I mean, that's been played up to be something more worse than 9/11? Wow, man. Come on, And then, like I said, and when I make, really quick, man, when I make these charges, man, to my peeps, that be hanging with us, with Braun Serpent Media, you guys know what's up, man. It's like, it's not a charge against. That's why you guys tune in, because we are on each other's frequency. We know, but we know that there's just too many conservatives out there that just refuse to realize this and try to make some weird justifications and get all defensive about it, rather than just, dropping that pride and just saying, you know what, hey man, maybe we need to consider this. Maybe we need to consider that we've been going about this wrong and have been giving the Democrats everything that they need to do what it is that they're doing. Thank you guys. In the fellowship that we have, we take these things in consideration and be like, you know what, Lord help us. There's got to be another way to do this, because this way don't work, right? So thank you guys for helping me to see that I'm not crazy. All right. So at any rate, with the, what was it? I think it was her name, Bauer. Concerning the was it January 6th, man. Worse than 9/11, man. These people, and their standards, man, or whichever. But despite we won't get, because that's it's boring. It's the blame game as far as that goes. But concerning that article, I saw Colbert weighed in on it, and I think probably like the stupidest thing I've heard concerning the whole thing. Colbert on his show is mocking Bauer for claiming to be a divinely empowered entity immune from laws. And he mocks her, saying divinely empowered. So she's going to get away scot-free, he says, just like Jesus, Colbert says. Or joked. I guess that's his joke. That's hilarious. And he goes on to say, but it does raise the question, if you're chosen by God to be above the laws of government, why do you care who's in charge of it? Hey, Steven, let me help you out here, man, in trying to make this stupid correlation with Jesus being above these laws. Jesus was executed, right? Well, how you gonna make that comparison? Jesus as he was here, he was actually subject to government. That had to play out, right? As the word has told us was going to be. This was going to happen. There was no excuse for it to happen. And he prophesied of that too. But it did happen. No excuse for it. All right? He was subject to the government. He was executed by the government. What are you talking about? Getting away scot-free. Jesus didn't get away scot-free. He died, right? Of course, in doing that, he was resurrected. Prove it. And he did what he came to prove to do. Say, yeah, man, I can be killed. I will be killed by the hands of men. I will be subject to your government. I will be subjected. I will be subject to death. Death will have dominion over me. I will die at the hands of you, and I will come back. Okay, so to say that Jesus got away scot-free, no, he took more licks than you could ever dream of taking, Colbert. All right, there ain't enough cans of manhood for you to be able to hang with what Jesus did. Not you won't ever come even close. All right, so and you're totally backwards about what it is that he did and what he accomplished. So if you're gonna have Jesus' name in your mouth, man, start praying to him instead of trying to invoke his name to speak some nonsense, if you please. All right, with all due respect, I hope you receive the Lord's peace and truth. What do we got here? We got Olympic champ Biles withdraws from all-around competition. All right, so the amazing gymnast, man. I think her mind might be getting entangled in doing some tumbling and stuff like that. Might be doing a little bit too many flips. And the Lord shalom to her. I hope she works these things out. But at the same time, y'all, as blessed as America is, that these athletes are representing. It's like, what are you representing? Are you representing America in the butthurt Olympics? Right? What are you representing? What is it that y'all out there being champions for? It's like, hey, I thought y'all were supposed, as Olympians, these athletes, the echelon of athleticism, right? Aren't y'all supposed to be like the superlatives of mind over matter? Y'all can't y'all need to get up in here in the Zoloft, man. Get your head right, baby. Tune up in here so we can get the gospel into y'all. Is what do you guys rely on? This is what happens when you guys are just pushed to believe in yourselves. Yourself is going to let you down. You need to lean on the Lord. You know, Olympus. When we talk about Olympus, that's the word in Greek for heaven, right? But you're putting your mind in the wrong heaven. You want to be Olympian minded, right? Might want to try being heaven minded of the actual heaven, the heaven of our Father God, Adonai, Jehovah. That's who you want. That's where your mind should be, even as an Olympian. Right? Like I said, Olympus, that's the word for heaven. That's for Greek. But of course, this is a heaven of, a mythological heaven of pagans, right? Or pagan worship and stuff like that. It's not real. But you can make it where you're just believing yourself. Heaven is within you, right? You're believing in your eternal heaven. You're believing in yourself. And that's what you're doing as an Olympian. Right? Glory to yourself. Thanks to yourself. Thanks to the Olympus inside you, the heaven inside you, the God inside you, or whatever you want to call it. But it's still you believing in yourself. Right? That's what the the country's been taught. And it's not turning out very well. You know, we're taught to believe in ourselves more than we're taught to believe in God. So, these people are but we've been supporting this, y'all. Now we want to act like we mad because these people are going over there and acting a fool. But with this one, she's got, I guess, whatever, concerns that she's got to work out. Like I said, the Lord shalom to her. But, like I said, y'all supposed to be demonstrating mind over matter. Get in there, do your thing. Don't make it about you. Don't be making it personal and stuff like that. You can't do that. I understand you're a human being. We have these things that go on with us. But at the same time, as human beings, we have to understand that there's a time and place for these personal issues. It's time and place for that. All right. You don't just, just check out whenever you want to. It's really selfish. It's selfish. And I'm not trying to be callous here and say that, hey, if a person is not feeling at their best, I don't know what the person's issues, can be. Not trying to sound callous or anything like that, but too many people are taking liberties with these things. You represent whether you represent a company or you represent your country, that's part of these things. To be to be of this magnitude is to make sacrifices. You ought to be in the practice of making sacrifices. That's how you got to where you are, was by making sacrifices. What's one more? You got an event to do. Get your mind over your matter. Get your mind on the Lord to fortify you to do what you got to do. What, you might lose? I know you want to represent your best, but I think not placing where you would want to be placed. Maybe you take a silver, maybe you take a bronze or something like that. I know that might not be the medal that you want, but what represents better? You at least placing with the medal, or you just saying, you know what, I'm not gonna do it today. I'm gonna make everybody wait. I'm gonna make everybody wait until I get my thing cleared up, until I feel good about myself, when I feel like I can believe in myself properly again. Right? I mean, it's like, no, man, you can't do that. Is this a life or death issue? Is like some sort of emergency? For all that you're blessed with. I mean, seriously, you're having problems? I don't know, man. I think you might want to look around and see some people with some serious problems. Now, I'm not trying to downplay. I mean, don't get me wrong. People can have lofty, they can have fame and money and stuff like that, and still have some problems. But maybe keep things in perspective. It's like, your first world problems, get out there and do some flips, okay? Come on now, do your thing. Do your thing. You've been blessed to be able to do it. Do that, and then, handle your concerns. That's how you represent. That's how you represent the strength, and even the strength to be able to take a medal that wasn't the medal that you had in mind, but you didn't quit. I'm not saying that you're a quitter, that you quit. You put this on pause, but you decided, I'm not going to do this today, which means, okay, all right, I mean, did you have like a physical issue that would keep you from that? I can understand, because you don't want to make it worse. You don't want to exacerbate it or anything like that. But, like I said, if your head, is not where you want it to be, there's the Lord for that. He's your refuge and can give you focus to get out there and do what it is that you need to do. That's that's supposed to be the Olympian, in you. Uh, anyway, speaking of butthurt, uh, let's see. Representative Adam Kissinger tears up at give that man a medal for Olympic grade butthurt at the January 6th commission hearing. I don't care. Anyway, but I mean, here's the thing: if Nancy Pelosi picked you to be on this commission, dude, that should tell you something, all right? You're a fake, you're a poser Republican, and you're a tranny-crat, basically. You're like a Republican in drag or something like that. It doesn't quite work. And speaking of which, so when Nancy Pelosi was questioned on why she called House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy a moron, pot meat kettle. Anyway, let's see. Nancy, I guess basically her answer, she just, I guess, repeated herself. She circled back. She circles back to her previous answer and says that every subject she can name, science is the answer. It's a subject that science is the answer. You just think of every subject, and I believe that science is the answer. Really? Science is the answer to everything, to pretty much everything, Nancy? Wow. So that Catholic faith that you boast in takes a back seat in the answermobile, huh? Right? You didn't. It's like you didn't think that this foundation, this strong Catholic foundation. I mean, I'm pretty sure you're more of a Catholic than you are a scientist, right, Nancy? Right? I mean, because that's the thing that you boast in. Why didn't you say that would be the thing that you go to? How come that's not your filter? How come that isn't your foundation of how you determine things? Even science, right? Because when you go by science, you still have to have a moral code for that, right? To just have knowledge doesn't work. You have to know how to apply the knowledge ethically. We've seen what happens when people don't apply their knowledge ethically, right? So, but science, that's what it means. Science just means knowledge, Nancy. That's all it means. Now, science according to what? What kind of knowledge are you talking about? So in this sense, whether it's biological science, climate science or environmental sciences, like, okay, let's be specific here. And in doing that, Nancy, you still have to apply morality to the science. Okay, now if you actually understood the Word of God, you would see that these things are not just morally, but in nature also. The Bible is the filter for these things, to know how to conduct yourselves with these things. It's the foundation that you're able to build knowledge on, the science, right? But I don't know where you're coming from with that mealy mouthed answer. What's up with that? That's a word. It's like science is the answer. Okay, so but anyway, you just downplayed your precious Catholic faith, which doesn't mean anything to you, right? Doesn't mean anything to you. But I'll give you this, Nancy. Science is the answer for me too, right? The omniscience, the all science, the all knowing, Almighty God, right? The real science. I mean, that's what science means, right? It means knowing, aware, right? Knowledgeable of things. Well, God is the all knowing. He's the all science. So yeah, I know that we're not talking about the same science, Nancy. You devil worshiper. Listen. So for me, science is the answer also if you're talking about Almighty God, but that's not who Nancy is talking about, and she's a hypocrite. And I mean, what is her career in science that she can make such a boast and make such a charge, right? That science is the answer to all things, so evidently. When she talks about science, she's talking about, I guess, what she knows, her knowledge, and by saying that, she's positioning herself as the answer, and as far as she's concerned, she does have all the answers, right? She's got the final solution to what it is that we need, and I reject that outright. So at any rate, y'all, that's what came across my desk so far this week, and I thought I would just share with y'all. And thank you so much, y'all, for tuning in. I hope you guys will share these. Share them wherever you can. right? I know it's frustrating because you share them and nobody sees them. You try to share them on Facebook, that's just part of it. And I hope that you guys will, bear with me. Facebook doesn't want you guys seeing these things. YouTube doesn't want you seeing them. Sometimes y'all don't get notifications and stuff like that. Thank you guys for being proactive and just tuning in anyway. Twitter, especially Twitter. Twitter doesn't want folks seeing my stuff. So if my content is in it, it's just going to get squashed. But I appreciate you guys trying to share anyway. Leave a comment, to just show that there's engagement. And when you share them, it helps because, y'all, it's been 6 years, I think. I still got 70,000 subscribers. YouTube doesn't let my base grow. And my videos only get about a couple of hundred hits, right? A couple of hundred views. So I hope you guys will help fight back against that. They've kept me shadow banned. I'm one of the early targets. Y'all. They kept me shadow banned for years. So I hope you guys will just share. I know probably like one, even those who do watch, probably like a small percentage, share. I hope that you guys will. It ain't gonna cost you nothing, just a couple clicks of your time. I hope that after all these years, I'm vetted to where you guys can feel comfortable about sharing my stuff. Maybe my stuff is like, Zoe, I like your stuff, but I'm not comfortable sharing it, man. I don't want any drama from my friends, stuff like that. Really, yeah, that's why our country is being taken away from us, right? It's like, if you can't handle a little bit of drama from people on Facebook coming after you or on Twitter or something like that, what you gonna do when Beto comes up, saying, "Give me your guns. I want your guns right now, mister." And there are people like that. People have told me that. It's like, well, Zoe, I don't want to post any pictures of myself with you because, I don't want to out myself as a conservative. I get stuff like that, right? Until I become a ghost. And so I know how to, but y'all, our country's being taken away from us because of, I don't know what event we're waiting for. We're going to all of a sudden get all this bravery and we're going to fight. Might want to do it while it's a little easier right now before we have to go shooting at each other. I really hope it doesn't get to that point. We could, start to put the brakes on that now, Anyway, so y'all, I hope you share. Hope you go to the website. If you're new to TZL, welcome. Hit me up at bronzeserpentmedia.com, bronzeserpentmedia.com. All that stuff is in the description box. You can get the mugs, get you a cup full of head right, get the audio book, A Solid Right Cross, bronzeserpentmedia.com. Hope you'll subscribe. Help my subscriptions go up. They've still been at 70,000 for like 6 years, right? Help push back against this. See if we can push it up to 80,000, y'all. See if we can get it up to 80,000. Like I said, hope you support at bronzeserpentmedia.com and help me find, build more creative ways to present this stuff, right? To compete in the culture. All right, y'all. Blessings. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you again soon.